Alright everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how Wholesale Hacker will help you actually market your deals to your buyers once you have it under contract. So in the previous demo you saw in the Offers app what happens when an offer gets signed is that it's going to create a new deal for you in the Deals app. That's where you manage sending your assignment contracts and scheduling your closings and all that stuff, which you'll see in the next video. But it also creates a new deal for you to share in one of these three apps, depending on the deal. So this is the all cash deal sharing app. This is the owner finance deal sharing app, and this is the subject to deal sharing app. So the offer we just signed or got signed was an all cash offer. So by default, it created the deal share in the all cash deal sharing app. And that's what you're looking at here. So if you click in here, you'll see deal name, wholesale deal available here. So in this item, in this deal to share, you have a lot of information, right? So you have your property comps, you have the one from Zillow, you have the one from the MLS. These automatically come over from the Leads app if you have the information in there when the offer's signed. You've got your financial information, so things like your repair estimates, your ARV estimate. These will all transfer over as well if you have them over there, which we did not. Your rental estimate, your asking price. You've got important dates such as when does your due diligence date on your contract end? When are you actually supposed to close? And then everything that's important about the property. So the address, you've got what type of property it may be, you've got the type of property it is in terms of owner occupied, vacant, tenanted, etc. The parcel ID number or VIN or PIN number. You've got bedrooms, bathrooms, heated living area, your lot size in acres, your built, and then any repairs that you believe needed. You can, obviously edit things in here as you want before you send it out to your buyers. Any property photos that you have stored in our workspace before the offer is signed will transfer over here as well. And then any notes you'd like to have about the property too. So to market this to buyers, very, very simple. First, make sure you have everything in here that you want. So we'll say definitely include a total asking price because that's number one, right? So maybe we're asking $110,000 for this property. Let's say it needs $25,000 in repairs and our ARV is 200 grand. Pretty good deal. And let's say it may rent for $14.95 a month. All right, so we've got everything in there. Now what you want to do is add a selling hook. Now what happens when you send this to your buyers, it's going to actually send them an email with all this information, okay? So the selling hook is the first line or paragraph or whatever you want it to be of that email to help get the interest of your buyers. So something like, hot deal available, don't miss out on this, right? You can put as much information as you like there. The very next thing and the last thing you need to do is decide who are you marketing this to. So within our system, you have two ways of marketing your deal via email. You can either send it to an email group. So if you have a buyer's A list or a buyer's B list, you can send it to one of those lists. Or you can send it to just an individual person. If there's someone who texts you and says, hey, please send me the info on that deal, you can just click individual person and send it to them. So let's start with how you send it to an individual buyer. All you need to do is click individual buyer so the system knows you're trying to send it to an individual buyer, not a group. Then which buyer, if individual, right? So now you get to select from which buyers. So let's say we want to send it to Joe Smith. We'll click on Joe Smith. So this is actually a contact from your Contacts app. So we'll get there in a second. But now that you have individual buyer selected, you've chosen the buyer you want, simply click yes, and it'll send it to your buyer. Now Joe Smith has an email that may be invalid, but that's the idea of how you'd send it, right? So let's say you want to add some more. Where are your buyers actually harbored? If you watched our video with the Contacts app and where to store your contacts, we put all of our buyers in the Contacts app as people in our market, right? So I have a few here as demo. all you need to do is click Add Contact. We'll say John Williams. Add the email here, so we'll do ours, info@wholesalehacker.com, and label them if you'd like them to be part of your buyer A or buyer B group. So we'll say this is a buyer B, and click on Save Contact. What that's going to do when you've added this contact is automatically add John Williams' email to our buyers email list here. So in this app here labeled buyers, this is really where we have our buyer A and our buyer B email list. So if you click on buyer B, you'll see there is his email address right there. Right? And then as you add more buyers B's, this email list will get longer and longer. So going back to the deal sharing app here, if you'd like to send it to one of those lists, you simply need to click on buyer A. Go ahead and remove your individual buyer. And again, just click yes. And what that will do is it will send that same email with all this information appropriately formatted to your entire buyer A list that you have here as buyer A. So I hope that shows you a little bit about how we market our deals to our buyers. We use some other platforms as well, but this is a very good and efficient way to keep it all on one system if you can. We'd be happy to talk more about it. Please feel free to reach out. I hope this was educational. Thanks, guys.